Hey there, good morning. Today I will be using the estimate template to quote hanging some interior doors. Got a call from a potential client and wanted somebody to hang these interior doors. They said they have the doors on site, so that won't be part of my quote. It'll just be the labor and the little bit of material to install them. She sent me some pictures of the rough openings. 1, 2, 3. And so she told me there was 4 doors, even though I really only have a picture of 3 of them. I'm not sure what the deal with this one is, if it's installed or if it's just stuck in there for the picture, no idea. But anyway, so I've got 4 doors. So what I want to do is go ahead and start with adding a new sheet here. And copying and pasting into my new sheet. Leave my clean template clean. And then I want to rename this. And while I'm there, I'll highlight it and copy it. Bring it back over to customer demographics, and we'll stick her in right there. And I'll finish the rest of this out later to keep this quick. This is going to be a quote, so right now I'm going to skip my timesheet and material cost. Just head right down to labor. Install. In the biz, call it hang for interior doors. Install for lock sets. That is the entire job. I don't have to go to the store to get anything. I've got all my tools, I've got fasteners, all that kind of stuff. So those are my labor descriptions. Materials, we're looking at shims and fasteners, both of which I have in stock. So probably just finish that out here. 1 LS. LS is an estimator's tool called lump sum. So if you don't actually have a price for something and you're just guessing, LS means lump sum. And I'll be using a few screws and a few shims out of my inventory. Or nails rather, but alright. So how long does it take to install to let's change this, pre-hung. These are going to be pre-hung interior doors. How long does it take to install one pre-hung interior door? Well, don't know the condition of the rough openings. Don't know if they're square. Don't know if the pre-hungs are actually going to fit. But if everything is just plug and play, I would say somewhere between a half hour and 1 hour to fit and install a pre-hung interior door. So why don't we split the difference? We'll call it 3/4 of an hour. That means that's an hour and a half for 2 doors, and that means it's 2 hours for 4 doors. And then install 4 interior lock sets and make any adjustments necessary for the door to open and close. Let's see, I would give that about 20 minutes. So 20 minutes times 4 is 80 minutes. That's an hour and 15. I'm going to call it 1 hour to install the 4 lock sets. And then if we're unsure about our estimate, because one thing I know that I do consistently is underestimate. So miscellaneous labor factor, I'm going to put in another 15 minutes for the install. And we have some time to get to the job site to set up and clean up. And I will put in another 15 minutes for setup and cleanup. I won't be going to the dump, doing anything like that. That looks pretty good, so I've pretty much got my estimate here, and it's about 327. So the next thing I like to do is just ponder that total job cost number and put myself in the customer's shoes. So I want somebody to come out to my house, and I want them to hang 4 interior doors and install the lock sets and just make sure they are correctly installed and opening and closing nicely. No ghost doors, nothing like that. Is $327 in my market worth it for something like that? Is that a good price? Is it too expensive? It doesn't feel too expensive for my area. Is it too cheap? It feels a bit cheap actually. Like I would consider if I was hiring somebody, maybe they would charge me around $100 per door. And if we're looking at $100 per door, that would be $400. So since it feels a bit cheap to me in the bigger context of things, and knowing that I tend to underestimate, I am going to up a couple of these numbers a little bit. I'm going to put 0.5 in here for doing some twiddle friggin', meaning I'll probably run into situations where I'm just going to have to troubleshoot like an opening, a rough opening, maybe grind down, maybe plane down a bow out of one of the jams, something like that. So I'm going to add a little bit of time there. I do have to drive there and back. It's across town. Let's add some more time there. Okay, so 372. So install 4 interior doors. I'm figuring, what, half an hour per door? It's a bit light. Let's do 2.5 hours there. Okay, that number I'm a little more comfortable with. Remember, this is estimating, and if you know yourself and that you tend to underestimate, then think about that before shooting off a price. So I'm comfortable with $417. I think that is closer to a fair price for me. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that. Instead of round numbers, I always like to have a little bit of change in there. So I'm going to take this 5 and I'm going to add like 18 cents. And that gives me 417.22. The reasoning behind adding some change is it gives the, especially with an odd number like 417 and then 22 and change, that just gives the customer the impression that you've got some sort of formulaic system that you're using for pricing. If every number you put out is a round number, there's a little bit of an impression that you're just kind of guessing, which we absolutely are, but they're educated guesses, and having a little bit of change just makes it look a little more formulaic. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot that price out. We'll see what happens. Hope that was helpful to you. Have a good day.